Hello there. Oh boy, what does Star Fox fans need these days? Everybody remember Star Fox Zero? Nah, no. Let me take y'all back a minute here. Let's go back to the GameCube days. Take a look at this guy. It's a Star Fox Assault. Now, coming off the heels, the N64, the Star Fox 64, if you will. Star Fox 64 did a lot of things right, but I think it was also for the time. It's kind of like how Duke Nukem was cool at the time, but it ain't really cool no more. And kind of like Beavis and Butthead and stuff, which I still like Beavis and Butthead, don't get me wrong, but its time was the 90s or the late 80s, whatever Beavis and Butthead was. I don't know. I wasn't really into it. I'm just saying, my point is that it shined during its time, and that's what made it hugely popular for its time. And Star Fox, the idea of a rail shooter was perfect because a lot of our video game systems were going from arcade systems strong enough to compare with arcade systems at this time at our homes. So that made it really unique for its time period, because now you've got an arcade style game, a shooter on rail style, and you've got bigger and better tech to show it off with and more impressively with. And that's to say that's just helped build up why that went as well as it did. I mean, I remember Star Fox being all over the place on N64. It wasn't, the top dog, but it was an early runner. Kind of odd they never made a sequel for it. But anyways, of course we got the one for the GameCube before this one. This one takes place after the Dinosaur World one, Star Fox Adventures or whatever. We're not going to talk about that much. Just keep in mind that you're going to have Crystal on this game, and Crystal's from that game. This is supposed to take place after the GameCube one, which that one takes place after the N64 one. So how does it stack up? Okay. First off, it's made by Namco. Let's go ahead and get that out there. That kind of, I remember the first time I played it, I was probably about 14, and that kind of caught my attention too. I was like, Namco? Like Soul Calibur? Why are they why are they making Star Fox? What, did Nintendo get lazy? Well, yeah. I think Nintendo was scared to follow the brand. And after they had done it with Rare, they let Rare do the first one, the first outside Star Fox besides them. And what did it do? Nobody liked it. And it wasn't a bad game. It's just that it wasn't Star Fox. And so Nintendo being scared again, I guess they went with Namco. But it plays pretty well. In fact, I think this is the spiritual successor to Star Fox 64. And here's why. You can beat the game in probably about 2 hours, give or take, just like the N64, and it's a short on-rail run. I think it's got branching pathways like the 64. I haven't got far enough along, and my memory has faded on this game. Keep in mind, it's been like 14 years since I played it, or 16 years since I played it. But that being said, the shooting's kept the same. You still have, the controls. You still have the barrel roll. You still, of course, it's adapted for the GameCube controller, which is better. But you got the barrel rolls, you've got the 2 lasers, all the same signature Star Fox 64 stuff is right here, except it is cleaner, it's more well presented, and it's better to explore. You're able to get later on foot, which is kind of neat. The only thing you could get on foot with the 64 version was when you played multiplayer, you could run around with a bazooka for a little while, which was kind of cool for the time, but on this one, it kind of goes with the game. I don't know if I have the footage recorded where I started it, but it happens very early on. The very first level does really good on this game to set up, here's what we're doing, and we're going to give you a crash course like most good games should. So within the first game, you go from first level, you go on foot very quickly to explore everything. You get to play with multiple characters instead of just Fox. The characters are, let's bash on it a little bit. The characters are a little stilted. They are. They tried to copy that stilted acting from the N64 where their mouths were just jabbering away and the comedy was there. And of course that was corny as it was, which, that was. They tried to copy that a little bit. You can see when they move, just the bottom piece of their mouths moves, they look almost robotic. But that's just them trying to copy on it. I think they could have done it better at this point. It's not a killer, but it's just their voices and their acting. Peppy is still Peppy, he's got a different voice actor at this point, though, and he's supposed to be decrepitly old and not really useful. Slippy is still annoying. Nothing's changed. Slippy is always annoying. Who doesn't try to shoot that character every time we play this game? Overall, though, I would say this is really a good game for Star Fox fans who haven't tried it. This is what I'm trying to appeal to, because there's a lot of little things that we kind of fell between the cracks. Now, I wasn't super really impressed when I first played it as a kid, but I wasn't huge into the series. I enjoyed Star Fox, and then the next thing's coming out, and I was like, why not? And I played through it, no big deal. I'm not sure what the price range is on this guy these days. I think I got it for $15 for the GameCube, and not a bad deal, not a bad game, especially if you're trying to complete your Star Fox building or a library, get all the games down. I definitely recommend this. To me, it feels like the 64 again, and it still has the music. It's like, this one is a lot like, to me at least, Star Fox 64 Part 2. That's what I feel it should have been. They should have just piggybacked off the series. I know they kind of couldn't because everything went south, but it does take up like the mantle in that point, and overall it's just a really good experience for Star Fox, especially if you got burned on Zero. Anywho, I believe that's all I got. We're gonna wrap it up here at that point. Thank you for watching me this far. I hope to see you next time. Have a good one.